Hey guys, how's it going? It's OSK here, bringing to you another patch review. I just figured I would read through our patch notes and have a brief review, my personal thoughts and feelings about what is coming to the game in closed beta 1.1. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, we have some cosmetics. Cosmetics are fine. I really like more things to earn, so that's great. Audio, we're having a new sound system coming in, and it supports 3D audio, and it's faster, so that is always good for the quality of life. Now, the meat and potatoes that I want to get into is this equipment rotation, because I think that this is huge. So basically, Scribe and Mender sets are being rotated out, which means that you have less healing and less armor gain coming into the game. So automatically, you're going to see Stone Shaper kind of suffer because of that, from the absence of that. So let's keep an eye out for that. And then we have Baron and Spellslinger coming in. Oh, first of all, we have a Scribe being rotated out, which the main thing with that is mainly the main thing you want to take a look at is the Scribe Amulet being taken away. That indirectly nerfs Conduit, because before you could just activate your rune, and the Scribe Amulet would redo your sorcery on your lightning, and then you would have your lightning sorcery redo your rune because of the Conduit skill. So you would need to it's just it's a never-ending cycle of just rune sorcery, rune sorcery, rune sorcery. So that's actually going to indirectly nerf Conduit. But let's get into Baron and Spellslinger. So the way these things work, Spellslinger, the more spell you cast, the more buffs you get, and Baron, the more full stats you have, the more buffs you get. So rare boots of the Spellslinger, on spell cast, run speed +1, that lasts for 10 seconds, stacks 5 times. So that's going to be really good for really fast casting spells. I'm looking at Lightning and I'm looking at Wind. Those two are going to be really great. Tempest mains in particular are going to be able to travel really fast. And Conduit mains, if you want to spam your Lightning, that works too. Belt of the Spellslinger, spell cast, you get rune cooldown -2 seconds, but there's a cooldown of 2 seconds. So this kind of cooldown system doesn't really work well, I don't think. Like, it's good to take 2 seconds off of your rune, which, I mean, if you're using your rune a lot, I guess that's okay. But you have a cooldown of 2 seconds, so you really only have to cast a spell every 2 seconds, and then it'll decrease from there. Personally, I would rather just have the current blue belt that we already have, which is just gives you an extra rune charge. I think that's a lot more valuable. Except for the max armor, which, I mean, max armor is not really that important. The one I'm thinking of gives you 55 max armor, this one gives 65, so there's a little bit of value there, but not really that much. As far as Legendary Amulet Spellslinger, on spell cast you have sorcery cooldowns -2, and there's a cooldown of 3 seconds. So again, kind of same boat of the belt. I don't really see this being that good. I put like just maybe the max mana is good, but I mean, you have Behemoth Amulet, which is tons better in my opinion. Then you have Epic Boots of the Baron. On full health, your run speed is +6. Otherwise, it is +5. Now, I don't know, for whatever reason, my brain can't figure out if this means that you have an extra run speed if you have full health, like 1 extra run speed, so it becomes 6 instead of 5, or if the 6 adds on top of the 5. I think it just replaces the 5. I don't think you get +11, but I could be wrong. We'll see what happens whenever it comes out. This could potentially be bonkers, or it could potentially just be kind of meh because you have better legendary boots anyway. Epic Belt of the Baron, damage resistance +80% is actually huge. This is really good for Stone Shapers. So let's say you get hit by an ice, or like an ice lance or something. If let's just say that the ice lance is 100, you get minus. That only has 20% of the damage coming through. So basically, a fully charged ice lance, if you're at full armor, will only do like 20 armor worth of damage. If you're a Stone Shaper, you can just slam your spell on the ground and gain back that armor really quickly. So this could actually be bonkers, and you're not really going to like lose all your armor that fast. Like 100 is definitely not what the actual value of the Frost Lance is. Maybe if you were like facing a player with Outbreak. This might be a huge hindrance to Toxicologists against Stone Shapers, but just in general, Stone Shaper sees a huge buff from this as long as they can keep their armor up. And then Epic Amulet of the Baron. On full mana, spell damage plus 25. That's only if you have max mana. So one thing I want to see them do is stop putting spell damage modifiers in the game. It makes certain classes like Toxicologist really, really stupid. And it makes stuff like Frostborn has its damage. It already has plus 35% spell damage when it's overcharged. First of all, Outbreak in general is just overtuned, period. Like, having the ability to enter invisibility and then getting double damage off of it, that is insane. Can we all agree? That is insane. And if you just keep adding spell damage on top of it, you're going to get to the point where if it's not put in check, you're going to have one-shot mechanics in Spellbreak, which, me personally, the whole reason I play Spellbreak is to avoid one-shot mechanics and allow my own style of outplay instead of just... oh, I see him, I hit him first, I win. Like, we have PUBG for that. We have Call of Duty for that. Spellbreak is not that type of game, and I don't want to see it turn into that type of game. So, for one thing, Outbreak is nuts. This potentially makes it more nuts, and for that reason, I don't like it. Same reason I don't like the other amulet that we have that constantly gives you 15% spell damage, and Behemoth amulet really... The extra spell damage is just icing on top of the cake. Like, the whole reason you do that is for cast speed, which we already have an amulet for that. I mean, I don't like them adding spell damage into the game, just bottom line. As far as balance changes, Wind Jump is now going to lower gravity, which means that you'll be able to stay in the air for longer and float down a little bit slower. This basically is kind of a nerf to Tempest in a way because it's more easily trackable, but it's also kind of a buff because you need less mana to stay in the air for as long. Of course, they adjusted that by giving the delay before the mana regenerates from 1.4 to 1.1, so there's that. I'm not sure why Squall gets a buff here. Like, I mean, I get that they're trying to compensate for the slower movement, but I mean, Squall is already powerful. You don't really need it. You don't really need to buff it, but I mean, if you want to, great. Tempest, I think in general just receives a buff from this. Of course, the movement, I guess we'll have to play out and see how much easier it is to track. Because it was hard to track. I don't know how it's going to play out, but we'll see. Shockwave, it's an interesting spot. Projectile speed by 20% is the reduction on Shockwave. I don't know why they did this. Like, it's already easy enough to dodge by just kiting around it. You don't need to nerf it into the ground, I don't think. Shockwave no longer travel up surfaces that they can't walk up. I think this is great. It gives the player an idea of what it can travel up and what it can't more easily, which sometimes it was hit or miss with a Shockwave, and then it now consistently travels down surfaces more, including unwalkable surfaces, so I think that's fine. Reduce the amount of horizontal braking while the jump hover is active, so like aiming sorceries, aiming Iceland. So basically this is going to make it to where you drift a little bit more whenever you stop your horizontal momentum, which is fine. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's right. Flame segments from Flame Wall now snap down further. Great, gives it more range. That's fine. Fireballs no longer ignite objects in a radius around them as they travel. So basically, if it passes by me, it won't explode. I'm guessing that's what it means. Maybe I didn't experience this, and then made the direction of the spawn configuration projectiles more predictable, which I don't really know what that means. I figured configuration going in 4 different directions by itself was fine. Maybe I'm missing something. I probably am. I don't know. As far as everything else, basically, this is all UI and quality of life stuff. The ping system. Let's see. I can toggle between press and hold and double tap to create danger. That's great. I think hold's fine, but whatever. If it's your cup of tea, then it is. As far as map updates, this is mostly just bug fixes, art and effects. We now have some flashing new stuff, and the rest is bug fixes. So I think that's it. Reading down in the comments, you'll see a bit of discussion. You'll see my downvoted comments, which I don't know why, but I mean, apparently people don't like them. Anyway, the deal is we're getting new cosmetics. We're getting some more juicy audio, and the equipment rotation is both overwhelming and underwhelming. The Baron set is great. Spellslinger is meh, other than the boots of the Spellslinger, which will buff Tempest and Conduit mains and anybody who runs those particular gauntlets. So other than that, I think Stone Shaper is going to see a whole lot more viability with Epic Belt of the Baron. They're going to be sacrificing that rune charge, but they're going to be adding in pretty much a way to never die. So there's that too, as long as you keep your armor up. And then, yeah, I think it's going to be a crazy patch. I think Stone Shaper is going to go up in viability. I think Conduit's going to go down in viability. Toxicologist is oddly stronger if you can use Epic Amulet of the Baron better, or if you can use it to its fullest potential, which I don't like, by the way. Toxicologist is already overtuned, and I'm a Toxicologist main, so like I know it's overtuned. Can we not? Frostborn, I see no love for Frostborn. That's still bottom tier. And then Pyromancer, Tempest, and I think they mostly stay the same. Tempest may go up or down depending on its effects. But anyway, that's it for the patch review. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you like hope you liked me talking about it. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe for my other videos, and if you'd like to add to the discussion, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If I'm completely wrong, dislike the video, let me know. And if I'm completely right, then like it and let me know. Either way, I will see you all later. Y'all have a good one, and peace.